Hello there, and welcome to this live recording of iPad Pros, where the iPad has not at all talked about by Apple one second today.
No, you're right.
That's just how it goes sometimes with these live kind of coverage events, with Apple events. How you doing, Matt? Matt's joined us once again to dive into this stuff.
I'm doing great. This is my 1 hour therapy session where I process everything that was announced and really figure out what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's what I love about this stuff, because I can be in my own head about some things, and then it's fun to just kind of like talk things out with another human being that actually cares about this stuff. Because I don't know about you, Matt, but I live in a household where I could be all excited, but like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, nits and ray tracing and these things, they don't get a lot of excitement.
Off-axis viewing of watch displays. Yeah.
No, these we come to the people who care. And that is the people who listen to this podcast. And the two people on this podcast, thankfully.
Yes. So, do you have any opening statements?
I will give just a disclaimer that I have just watched this. I have no idea what people are saying about it. If I am out of line, I apologize. But I'm just giving you my raw reactions to what they announced and what I've seen on the website with some of the details in the releases. So, yeah, I'm ready to get into it whenever you are. What were your impressions? Do you have any opening statements or anything you want to say before we get going?
Well, so I should say, going into this, I think both of our sentiment was, let's do the best we can to not spend money with excitement today.
Yes.
So that was, I guess, my opening statement is, let's see how well we did in that regard. I think fairly well is
okay.
Just the opening.
So
we're
basically in the same boat, right? We have an iPhone 15 Pro Max and an Apple Watch Ultra Series 2.
Well, I have both a Series 9 and an Ultra 2.
That's right.
So okay. I double dipped last year somehow. Because last year I thought, maybe I had like a 82% battery life on my Series 7. It's like, maybe if I get the Series 9, that'll get me through the day. And I learned quickly, no. But then I had already traded my Series 7. But I still like the stainless fancy looking watches for social stuff, and so I ended up with both an Ultra and
yeah. So less purchasing this year is our goal. I bought two things last year. You bought three things. We're at 5 purchases on this podcast alone. So okay, we'll see how we do. Historically, we also say we're not going to buy things on the show. And that is the best indicator possible. One of us will buy that thing soon.
Yeah, the next week, someone will just I got this. Yeah,
take this all with a grain of salt.
Yeah. So, Apple Watch is where they started, and Apple Watch, I think we both. I was outside shocked and comfort zone. You saying you might just stop wearing the Apple Watch, like, whoa, you're the Apple Watch company.
I know. Although I immediately recanted and realized I actually just prefer the Apple Watch. So.
Yeah,
I'm happily wearing mine right now and will for the time being.
Excellent. So yeah, Apple Watch, I think it was the star of the show for me, at least. I think they did a lot of exciting things here, some unexpected things. Like the Apple Watch is also the one that's harder to get the rumor mill accurate on. They just don't know what this thing's doing. It's more in a silo, I feel, or has less excitement around it, so the rumors are less accurate.
Yeah, you're totally right. Like iPhones, for years now, we've known pretty much exactly what we're getting months ahead of time, hardware-wise at least. Yeah. Apple Watches are all over the place. I feel like they've been talking about like a radically redesigned Apple Watch since the Series 7 or something. I feel like when the Series 7 was just a small redesign, people were like, "Oh man, I thought it was going to be a huge change." And but then I don't know. The rumors are all over the place. You're right, and they're never reliable.
Never. But this year they did a lot of things that were on my list of annoyances. Still on that list, I think, is you can't multitask when you're on a phone call with watchOS 11. You just have to end the call if you want to look at your calendar to confirm you can actually do that appointment. That's still on my annoyance list. But they crossed a bunch off. And one big one actually gets backwards compatibility to the Ultra 2. I'm very excited about this, Matt. So a part of the Series 10 rollout is you can now play music and podcasts and media of all sorts just with your watch speaker. Isn't that just amazing? What a world. Took 10 years to get here.
It's great. And that's only the Ultra 2. None of the other older models get it, right?
No. Series 9 does not support this. One of my theories is they didn't update the Ultra 2 to the Ultra 3 this year, so maybe they're like, oh, let's put in the work to allow this. Groundbreaking future.
Yeah, or maybe the speaker has more space. Like the speaker on this one, I know they hyped up with the original Ultra. It can do like the like SOS sound that's like insanely loud. I don't know if you've ever tried it, but it is shocking. I would not advise it. So maybe it's already had extra oomph in there and they could make it work. But it's, as an Ultra Watch 2 owner, I'm glad this is here because the Ultra 2 was a not big update over the Ultra 1, and this is honestly bigger than most of the things they added to the Ultra 2. So this is okay with my or in my book. And
I also must say, I thought it was a battery life concern. That was my thing. Like, that uses more battery life. That's obviously why they've never introduced this feature. And then they added to the Series 10, which has identical battery life to previous models, as far as I can tell. No improvements there. So if I as a user of Apple Watch who uses audio playback heavily, even through AirPods, I will kill the Apple Watch Series 9, 10, well before my workday is over. So I'm still definitely an Ultra user, and then the Series watches are my nighttime sleepy watches. So I'm definitely a two-person watch person, and which that also makes it feel like I definitely am not going to upgrade to the 10 because it's a secondary watch, not my main watch. So that's where I stand today. But that gold link bracelet on the new Series 10 looks very, very fancy and interesting. I'm looking at the specs. It does look like the screen is really the star of the show, and the thinness improvements. No, the screen looks great. And it's interesting every time they improve the screen of the Apple Watch. With the 7, it's all rounded around the edges. And they said today again, like, even smaller, like, the 7's already wrapping around the edge. You can't do anything that's bigger. I know. But I can't imagine the bezels are any different. Same with the iPhone. They said the least bezels ever. But I'm looking at the Apple Watch is wrapping around the edge, like, is that real? Is that what metric are you using, Apple? Like, I don't know. I trust they're on the ball here, but yeah, I don't know. It is always funny. Like, I remember when the Series 7 came out and they had like the contour watch face that kind of like had the numbers all around the corner, and they're like, it goes edge to edge, and we're all like, it doesn't though. And now the Series 10 goes even closer to the edge, and it's like, well, yeah, that's it. There's always room to get closer. So. It looks nice and kind of similar to you. If I were a normal Apple Watch user still, I think the new design would be compelling, right? Anytime there's a new design to the Apple Watch, that's an interesting time to jump on board. But just like you, the battery life on the Ultra is too good to pass up. And I've just gotten used to the chunky watch at this point, and it doesn't feel weird. It doesn't, I'm fine with it. So yeah, not tempted by the Series 10, even though it does look like a nice update. One of the most interesting things I think about the watch this year is Apple's relationship with metals, you might say. So they introduced an aluminum model that looks like the old stainless steel, and they removed the stainless steel and made a shiny titanium that kind of has that same look to it. So like we're getting rid of all barriers of stainless steel being the shiny one. No, now we have an aluminum one that looks just as good, and at least on the photos, as the fancy ones. And titanium is now a shiny material. I like the shiny. I'm a fan of the shiny watches. I wish they would move to sapphire with the aluminum ones, because it's not really something I'd want to get, even though that black one does look good and much cheaper. Yeah, I forgot that the aluminum watches don't have the sapphire screen, is it? Right? Yeah, it's Ion X glass. Yeah.
But yeah, you're
which-
right.
Yeah.
I mean, it is nice that they have a glossy aluminum one. Like I went to the
Yeah, this is the first like aluminum one that's like looks it looks nice. I don't know. It looks
Yeah, for sure. Like that was the thing. It was I think the series 6 or 7 was the first time I went with the stainless steel model. I got the black stainless steel, and immediately I was like, "Oh, I can't go back because
Exactly.
the glossy like body was just so much. It looked so much nicer than the kind of matte aluminum. So it is cool that they have that option, and that I assume you don't pay extra for that, right? I guess I shouldn't assume that with Apple stuff, but I assume it's the same price for the jet black.
I'm assuming. Yeah, same price. Same price.
Okay. Phew. Good.
I mean, with Jet Black, you know, he had the iPhone. It was more expensive because it was only available in certain storage capacities, I think, right?
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
It didn't seem as rigorous of a process as that Jet Black, but maybe it's that. Could it be the same exact process they did with the iPhone? They just didn't make a big deal about the process they went through to do this. I
That's
don't know.
hard to
Maybe.
say. I'm not the
It's
materials
called
expert.
Jet Black.
Yeah.
They're both Jet Black. I don't know.
Sure.
Sure.
And just
But,
like with
yeah.
Space Gray, it is always consistently the same gray.
Yes. Yeah. The other annoyance of the Apple Watch got rectified this year. The always-on display. I've messaged you about this in the past. How the contour watch face, one of the most beautiful things in the world, but it's only beautiful when the always-on display is fully lit up. And once they go to that refresh rate of once every 60 seconds, you know, it just turns into this horrible-looking, boring watch face. So they improved the screen technology in the Series 10 this year to update once per second. So always on display mode means you can have a ticking seconds hand. I'm also curious if they went back and updated some of the older watch faces to be more dynamic and, you know, pretty. The always on display mode. I'm not. I'll be curious what they do with all the different faces and how they approach this new display technology, because this is definitely a huge step in the right way, where you can now have a ticking time and all that good stuff. So I'm very excited about this change. And when the Ultra 3 gets this technology of updating the always on display once a second, I'll be very excited for that day.
Nice. Yeah. No, that is definitely a good thing. I'm just looking at my updated Ultra 2. It looks like the new watch face they showed off with the seconds ticking away on the always on is called Flux. And it does not do the every second thing on the Ultra 2, which makes sense, but
we got both Flux and Reflections are available in the GM.
yeah.
So the Reflections, I'm curious, you know, these other watches have ambient light sensors. It looks like, it is reflecting. It's reacting. So that is there. The always on display mode will just be the best, you know, in Series 10. That's where it'll shine. But it looks like when it's in the regular mode, it's pretty nifty. I actually like this quite a bit here. The reflections here.
Nice.
So, what are your feelings about these new watch faces? Are you going to use any of these, you think, in your day-to-day?
Well, I find the Flux one actually kind of disorienting to look at. It's odd how it like is, it's half filled or like it.
What's it fluxing? How does it? It's going up and down. Oh, I get it. So as the minute gets closer to the end, it goes up and up and up and up until I see.
It's okay. It's all right.
I like how it's reflected down also in the Smart Stack. That's very nifty.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that
a
cool?
rare one?
Yeah, not all of them do that.
Yeah, so even the seconds, like they're ticking up even when you're in the Smart Stack.
I think it really looks nicer in the seconds thing ticking up there. The Photos face in general, I've been very impressed with the updates there. I'm using the crap out of that on my Series 9.
Yeah, and that one just like pulls photos for you, right? Or
automatically, and it puts them in a nice place. So I'm very glad, because I'll pick out photos I think would look great, and then they put them on the watch like, oh, that actually doesn't look good with the aspect ratio, but they pick out some good ones. The other thing coming to the Ultra 2 is sleep apnea notifications, which is very cool. So I think the Series 9 as well is getting that, is what they said. So Series 9 and Ultra 2, the One Health feature, I don't need update to get, which is I love seeing stuff like that.
Yeah, that's great. And that, as far as is that a first? I feel like the health stuff always is exclusive to the new ones.
I've thought I think that's the case. Or if I'm missing something.
Or it's very rare if it does happen.
Yeah. There was no mention of blood oxygen. I can't find it anywhere at any page on Apple's website. They're obviously doing this with or without it. Yeah. I have blood oxygen on both of my very limited edition American models that have that sensor. But yeah, it seems like they figured it out either way. I couldn't find that as a mentioned sensor in the Series 10 at all. So I don't know what's going on with that. So hopefully we'll find out more, I'm sure, in the coming days with that.
Oh, yeah. I still got blood oxygen on mine.
Are you at all surprised they moved away from stainless steel to titanium? Same price. I guess those materials should cost the same. I don't know. Apple making titanium more premium in the past.
I don't know if I'm surprised. I wouldn't say I predicted it, but I mean they've been doing
had stainless steel since the very first Series Zero.
Yeah, that's what the Apple Watch normal was back then.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a little interesting, I guess, but there definitely something happened based on what Apple's doing and what other like phone makers are doing with like everybody's doing titanium now. Something must have happened with titanium production or availability or processes, or something happened where like suddenly titanium is easy to use or like the processes are good or something, because it's everywhere now. So
and I think this is a great change though, making it much lighter, because the stainless steel is when you feel the heft.
You do.
Which I'm fine with, but some people may not be, and lighter watch is nice because that titanium it's a little bit heavier than aluminum, I think, and will still feel more premium than that model for those that want it.
Yeah. I've never used a regular size titanium, like regular Apple Watch in titanium, so I'm not sure what that's like weight wise, but yeah, I feel like the Ultra isn't that heavy, so presumably it's very light actually.
Yeah.
Someone like me who's used to
the colors, the titanium colors, they look pretty much identical to what I remember from the stainless steel. I'm curious. I imagine scratching would be just as easy with titanium as stainless steel. Those little hairline scratches. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Is it as tough? Is it as tough as the Ultra? Like the Ultra is supposed to be hard to scratch, right?
Well, it's also a different finish. I think part of the scratching
finish.
is
That's
like
true.
the shiny, the polished shiny.
That's true. That's true.
So yeah. Yeah, I'm excited because they've been tweaking all sorts of like little things, like the audio playback thing was just a little thing. Then the updating that always on display once a second. It's like, oh yes, this is all nice.
Yeah, that is nice. The better always on display for showing the seconds hand, I think is nice for a watch, because like every once in a while, like I'm joining a meeting in a minute and I need to know if it's like 11:59 and 2 seconds or 11:59 and 58 seconds and like, should I join the meeting or not? It's stupid, but it's a thing. So yeah, just being able to glance down without having to turn my wrist to make sure the screen's on to see the seconds is nice.
And this new display technology, I guess it illuminates from different angles too. So they're saying 40% better at off-angle viewing. And I pulled up my handy calculator here. 2,000 nits peak brightness, 40%. That's 800 additional fake nits. The Ultra 2, still a little brighter at that 3,000 nits. So no matter how you pitch it, the Ultra 2, well, I guess, I don't know if that math is actually right, because if you look off axis on an Ultra 2, how much reduction do you get? But anyways, thought that was, I don't know, interesting.
It's impossible to say.
It's impossible to say, unless you buy one and check it out.
Which I will not.
Yes, no.
Telling myself.
Tell it yourself. Yeah, because you said this last year, and you had an Ultra 1, and you ended up with an Ultra 2 somehow.
Yeah, and I I wrote a review of it a few weeks later, and I was so mad at myself in that review. I was like, this was not worth the upgrade. So the silver lining for me 12 months later is that at least a couple features in the new watches are coming to my watch. So that's
you get the
nice.
speaker player. You can walk around your house and office playing whatever
Yep.
Daft Punk album you want to play. You can walk around
How it was
Tron,
meant to be listened to.
Exactly. Yeah.
From your wrist.
Yeah.
I love it. So yeah. Honestly, I'm a little happy there's no Ultra 3. From that perspective.
I mean, we got some nice first class treatment here. Now, I'm very excited. We get to spend a little bit less money on a new watch band for the Ultra, the Milanese loop style. What's it called? Let me pull this up here. It's $200. This new band. It's in the style of Milanese loop, but unlike the Milanese loop, this thing will stay exactly where you put it with a nice secure latch. Which I'm here for because I love the magnetic styles, but I'd love a little bit more security in it, staying put, so I'm not having to re-tighten it all day long.
Yep.
I've never paid full price for an Ultra band because I always got last year's colors on eBay for a cheaper price. So this is, I think, going to be the first time I actually shell out some money for the band from Apple.
Yeah.
And I wish they could have stuck to the $100 price plate, but Apple.
That would be nice. Oh yeah, these are already shipping in mid to late October.
Yeah, immediately. Like after that event, I looked like, oh, it's already October for these things. Okay.
Oh boy.
But I'm sure in an Apple store, you may be able to buy it locally and have them.
That's true. Yeah. They always get some in the store.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm glad. I'm happy there's a new Ultra band style. That's good. We hadn't gotten any new ones last year, so happy to see that, and happy to see they refreshed the colors.
Yeah, black. Would you go with the black Ultra if it was you?
Oh, it's hard to say. I might do it just because it's different. That would make me feel like I was spending money on a new thing. But
I like the silver.
I do like the titanium. Whatever. It is a good look, and I've kind of grown accustomed to that look. So I think I might stick with it.
Yeah. I'm as with the band size. I need to figure out what I want to order there because a lot of the magnetic bands, I find getting the larger ones is better because you have more magnetic coverage around, like the leather link especially. Getting a large, you have more overlap with the magnets, so it stays better. But with Milanese loop, I don't know. I'll have to look at what I have for my Series 9 size-wise and do the math and figure it out. Are you going to get one of these bands, you think?
I don't think so.
No. Okay. Do you like the metal bands in general, or are they less comfortable for you?
I kind of like the metal bands for the stainless steel Apple Watch that I used to have. I like the Milanese loop for that one. I tend to like fabric and kind of rubbery ones for the Ultra more, just because it feels more in line with the style of the watch. Like I'm not wearing a fancy watch or like a dress up watch, if you will.
Sure.
So, but I might give it a go. I mean, I'm sure I'll be in an Apple store at some point and I'll see it. And maybe it'll look great. But right now I'm saying no. But, every 6 months or so I get tired of my watch band and I like to get something new. So who knows what the spring holds for me.
I love the one with the little latch in it. Is that Alpine?
The Alpine Loop, yeah. That's my favorite of them.
It's so good. It's comfortable. It stays put where you left it. And
Yeah, no, that one's very good. Easily the best in my opinion.
Another reason I don't need to get the Series 10, which would be an evening and nighttime watch, is the one with the link bracelet is $1,049.
Yikes!
Because those link bracelets haven't come down in cost at all since they were introduced.
Yeah, that's a bridge too far for me.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
I'm very glad the gold is finally here though, because I've wanted a gold link since that original one was out there for just the celebrities. Remember that with the Series 0, they gave some celebrities like pure gold link bracelets that was never offered to anyone else.
Oh, did they? Interesting. No, I didn't know about the special bracelets.
And the gold stainless steel bracelet is just currently unavailable. So they say come back later, and we may have them later.
Okay.
But you can't even pre-order it. It's kind of interesting.
Oh, you're right.
Because that is a show that they showed off in their like cover image of like here's that's like the hero image for the watch this year.
Yeah,
it's a
you're
watch
right.
you can't pre-order, which I just find fascinating.
No one's perfect. Not even Apple.
Yeah. And then the SE remains the same. No updates there. I wonder if we'll get like a March update to that thing. They do that sometimes with the SE being a little off cycle, I thought.
Maybe. Yeah, I just don't think about the SE at all anymore. I'm an ultra wearer.
Yeah.
I'm like
I'm excited to see
removed.
what their plastic version will end up being like.
Ooh, yeah. I would like a fun, like an iPhone 5C style.
Yeah, totally.
Apple Watch SE. They'll probably just make it the Series 7 style, but still.
Yeah. And then Hermes Ultra. I just love that they're going that way. That watch face looked great. I kind of want that watch face, but
oh yeah.
They won't give it to us, I don't think. It's not like Nike.
No. Where's the Hermes Ultra? Oh, there it is.
Isn't that nice? That's such a good watch face.
Makes the Link bracelet look cheap.
Right, yeah. Now we have options by Hermes Ultra bands. So that's another avenue for those that want all the Ultra bands. They can go down that expensive rabbit hole.
Man.
Oh, man.
I mean, it looks nice, though. I actually dig this.
It does.
I'm not paying that
it's
amount
available
for it,
from $1,399 and upwards. So,
the band alone is $450.
I'll be looking at eBay and see when those finally start to,
You'll be shocked to hear that one is available for pickup on launch day.
Shocked.
Not sold
Shocked. Yeah. Any other watch stuff? I'm trying to think. Oh, I'm so excited. The Series 10 is getting their depth app. That I use. So there's the water sensor. I use my Ultra 2 on a weekly basis to get the bathtub ready for my daughter to get the right temperature. I'll just take the watch off the band and just throw it in as a little pebble in the bathtub, and it'll light up even if it's not on your wrist. Give you the water temperature. It's perfect. It's best little water thermometer money can buy.
Nice. Yeah.
So
no, that is good.
That's coming.
It's definitely a cool little feature. So love to see it on more watches.
For
I
sure.
think we'll talk about it more with the actually, I guess all the other products they announced, but definitely a storyline of what was Pro or Ultra last year is just coming down to the normal devices.
Yeah. I think that's it. There's some other new bands that looked interesting. But yeah, AirPods was next up. And some interesting things here. They did improvements once again, which I don't need to buy something new, which is I love. Let's start with AirPods 4, though. There's two different models. One that has noise cancellation for $179 and one that doesn't for $129.
Mm-hmm.
And I think these look good. I think the AirPods 3 were a dud. I think this is the right direction. I don't know if you have thoughts on these.
Ooh. So I have AirPods 3 for my work computer. I have
Okay, so you are a user of them.
AirPods Pro 2 for just my personal use.
Yes. And all your Vision Pro usage,
In theory, yes.
Because you can listen to lossless Apple Music on AirPods Pro 2 only in Apple Vision Pro.
Yes, if they're AirPods 2 with USB-C.
With USB-C.
Yes, not the Lightning normal ones. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would say the AirPods 3 are my favorite AirPods, except that they don't have noise canceling.
Ah, interesting. They're
So
more comfortable and the sound's good enough for what your needs are.
They're more comfortable, and I have said this many times, but I cannot tell the difference between the sound quality of any headphones. They all sound the same to me, so so I don't care.
And you're not probably listening to them in like the a quiet like place where you would hear the difference anyways.
No, like, yeah, if I'm at home, I'm almost never using headphones, and I'm normally using headphones while I'm walking either myself, I'm working out, I'm walking the dog, something like that. And wind is the big thing with those just kind of AirPods 3. Wind gets in there, and like I live around Chicago, the windy city.
Yeah.
We have weather, and it is sometimes hard to hear what I'm listening to, and so the noise cancellation is good for that. So for me, AirPods that are like the ones that I find more pleasant to use in every other way and are more comfortable for me and also have noise canceling, it might be the most exciting thing they announced today for me.
Yeah. Because it's got noise cancellation. It's got the stem so you can control stuff. Do we know, does volume get, is it everything from the Pros as far as like volume control as well?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. That is one thing I like on the Pros is just like swiping up and down to change volume.
Yeah.
I don't
really
think the
nice.
AirPods 3 have that.
They don't. That's an exclusive.
They don't.
Pro
Okay.
thing. But these new AirPods Pro 4, transparency mode, adaptive audio, all the things, it's got more things than the AirPods Maxes that got updated.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
We'll get to it. Controls. Okay. Press. I don't see any swiping things here.
Yeah, it doesn't look
They're
that
all
way.
press controls, which is a bummer because those are so nice on the Pros. I constantly am changing the volume on stuff. Like, I don't know why, but I do. So you're definitely getting the 4 with the noise cancellation.
Well,
it's going to be.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm looking at the compare page right now, and they say the AirPods 4 have active noise cancellation, and the AirPods Pro 2 have up to 2x more active noise cancellation.
It's a little better.
So yeah, definitely less cancellation on the
Do you think that's
non-Pros.
just the lack of a seal?
That's got to be
And,
it.
like,
And I think they said like this is the first earphone of this style without the like tips that does noise canceling at all. So yeah, it's certainly not. And now that I'm thinking about it, the wind is not like a noise so much as it's like a thing that's coming into my ear. So if it's not stopping it from coming into my ear, then it may not actually solve the problem. So nope, I'm not buying one of these.
Okay. Yeah, I'm so curious on how the wind will handle it because like sometimes the wind, I'll notice like, oh, I'm in transparency mode. Let me turn on noise cancellation because the microphone's just picking this up and putting it in my ear.
Okay.
But yeah.
But
I'd
if
be
you
curious how it handles the
yeah.
wind,
Yeah, but if you
'Cause
do want noise canceling but don't want to spend $250, it's $70 less expensive.
But Matt, let's be real. You spend $200 on Amazon. That's just the price people pay for it.
I was going to say that's true. Nothing is. I'm not sure anything in Apple's lineup is on sale more often than AirPods Pro 2.
Yeah, right.
That's true.
It's like you're paying $50 for engraving. That's how I feel about AirPods Pro at this point. It's like you go to Apple if you want to pay for the engraving. Otherwise, wait for a sale.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, how cheap will the AirPods Pro 4 with active noise cancellation get? Will we see these at like $150? That could be interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, they look like a good update for sure. If you're looking for your first pair of AirPods, like I feel like that's probably a good pick for a lot of people.
For sure. Yeah. And you don't have to like replace the air tips on a semi-regular basis, so you don't have that money drain of I got the fancy whatever blacks, what they're like comfort tips or whatever from a company.
Nice.
So yeah. But yeah, they look comfortable, all that good stuff. AirPods Pro 2. I'm very excited by this ear health stuff. So hearing test, hearing aid, and hearing protection features. I think I'm mostly excited about the hearing protection features. You can just have this mode on, and it'll just protect your hearing. So as loud stuff's coming in, it'll lower the volume. Marco's talked about in ATP a lot about using AirPods Pro for concerts, and this I think will be a much better approach to that, where it's going to do that for you. You don't have to try to set up some weird configuration on the AirPods Pro to try to do what he's trying to do. He'll just do it automatically, of like lowering your whatever volume and of the world around you. So I think that's pretty cool. Are you at all intrigued by this stuff?
I am sort of intrigued by it. I am interested in the hearing test. I'm definitely interested in. I know a few people with hearing aids, and would be interested to see what they think about the hearing aid feature.
Yeah.
That's coming. Sorry, I did get distracted. I was looking at the fine print about the active noise cancellation on this. The 2x noise cancellation on the AirPods Pro 2 refers to how it compares to the AirPods 4, which they just released, and compared to the AirPods Pro 1. So if this is remotely accurate, the AirPods Pro 1 are similar to the AirPods 4 in terms of noise cancellation. And I thought the AirPods 1 Pro 1 were pretty good for it. So
yeah, I love the audio technology part of their spec sheet. AirPods Pro 2, pro level active noise cancellation. And then the regular ones are just active noise cancellation.
Yeah. These are the specs. Specs.
Yeah. Pro level. Yeah. Oh gosh. But the hearing aid stuff, like I'll be curious. I'll take the hearing test, and I don't know if it has some recommendations. I might just have that mode on as well. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I know, like one of my parents was looking at hearing aids for the first time, and they're like very annoyed by the process of getting them, but they do have AirPods, and maybe this could, if not replace them forever, could maybe delay at least their need to get them. Yeah. So it'll be interested to see how these work.
I'm curious, like 1 ear versus 2 ears. Like, is this with like, will the hearing aid work in a single AirPod setup, or will it both for it to work at all? Hearing protection, obviously, you need both because otherwise,
sure,
deaf in 1 ear. But well, I say that, but maybe hearing protection would work, and it would just for 1 ear if you want to just, have. I don't know. We'll see how that all goes.
Yeah, I don't know.
That stuff's coming out later this year.
Yeah, for AirPods 2, which really confused me because I didn't watch the event. So I didn't watch it first. I didn't watch it live. So the first thing I did was see Apple's website. And on their website, they have, where is it? I got to get this right. AirPods 2 coming this fall. And I was like, what are you talking about? With a free software update. And I was like, oh, okay. Good Lord. It sounded like a whole new AirPods, but it is not.
One pro tip, if you're an Apple Vision Pro user, I discovered you can install the beta AirPod firmware directly from the Apple Vision Pro, so you don't have to go through the convoluted method you used to have to do on Macs, and it seems scary on the Mac how they had you do it with those beta updates to that stuff. So I may end up doing that when they roll out the firmware for that pre-release, so we'll see. And then AirPods Max, I love this. So if you're
the
on
biggest
the site,
update of all,
it says new colors. So they treat this as they do the Ultra 2. It just says new colors, even though they add USB-C, because that's all they added. They didn't change anything else about them. No new chip. Why didn't you put the new chip in there for all those other features? Like what? Baffling.
Same case.
Same case. Yeah.
I use case loosely.
It's got the pro level noise, active noise cancellation on their website. They say
it always has. Always has though.
Always has. Yes, the noise cancellation of those are great. But yeah, baffling they don't have any new features. I'm sure if you go to compare, it's not even just AirPods Max. There's no like second generation.
Yeah, it's the same product
generation,
with a new plug.
Different port. Yeah. Wow.
I wonder if you can you use them wired through the USB?
Don't know. That'd be great. We'll see. Because I broke my adapter for Lightning to audio output very quickly. Within the first 3 months, that cord was dead. Like that's such a cheap, flimsy cord that just I hate that thing. So we'll see what options are. And they changed the colors around. We don't have silver anymore. We don't have a classic just white and silver. We don't have black. We have got midnight. That's close, I guess. But I don't know what I feel about these colors.
I think they're okay. I will say I bought the silver AirPods Max I've never regretted a color choice more.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, mine have gotten they really discolored, especially the band across the top, like that fabric.
Yeah.
It
I got
it
the
just
black. I'm happy with
yeah.
that decision. Yeah, they're interesting. I mean, this also opens up. We could buy the different color. I could buy the purple cushions and put them in my black ones. That could look nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
Always opportunities to spend money.
Yeah. But yeah, why did they put the H2 chip in this thing? What
Yeah,
are you
that is
doing,
surprising.
Apple? Conversation awareness would be nice on this thing, right? I don't know.
Yeah. Like I have no like I understand headphones can only evolve so much. Like the form factor of the Max is I know some people would like them to be like made of plastic and be lighter and everything, but they're not bad by any means.
Right.
They're pretty darn good and some people love them. I think they're pretty good. Like but not putting the new chip in them is definitely frustrating.
Like things like the AirPods Pro 4 with H2 can do Siri or Hey Siri, but because this old chip, it just has the Hey version, which, yeah, had the new chip. I'm glad they didn't change the design to a full out folding one. A lot of people are angry that this thing doesn't fold up in a very small compact version, but my experience with that is with the Beats Studio 3s, and because of the way that thing folded, those bands broke all the time. Like, I think part of the reason they did this, Apple knows that's a very likely place for headphones to break, so they just kind of lay flat because it's more reliable that way.
And it is a bit of a trend with other like headphones in this category. Like I'm wearing Sony's version of these right now. They don't fold anymore. They used to, but they don't anymore.
I gotta think they also saw all the repairs they had to do because that's a easy break point in headphones. I don't know if that's ever happened to you with older headphones with that.
No, I've never broken headphones.
Okay.
That I know of. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is definitely the most frustrating update of the day.
It is. Like, they did it because they were probably mandated by the EU to put USB-C in these things. That's all they did, really.
Like,
because they're forced to.
Yeah, it's very, very frustrating. These are the most expensive AirPods, and they will have the fewest features, and they won't get new features. Like we got the surprise update to AirPods 2 or Pro 2 are getting all these new things. Like, they're not going to get those because they're basically an Intel Mac. They're just like buying an Intel Mac in 2024. You can, and it can be pretty good, but like you're just perpetually in the past, and that's frustrating.
They could have like had lossless stuff with the Apple Vision Pro, with a new chip and stuff, but no, that's not there.
If you want to wear all the big Apple stuff on your head at once.
Now, I must say, I cannot do that combo because I've got the solo top band, and that just does not work. I've tried that.
Or they should make the headphone parts of them detachable from the thing. Then you just like snap them onto your Vision Pro.
That'd be cool. Yeah, they could do something like that.
There you go.
Yeah, there could be mode.
But what they did was change the colors and give it USB-C.
Yeah, so disappointing.
Disappointing. Bummer.
But the new AirPods 4 look great, and the hearing health stuff look great. And once again, free updates. I get more life out of my Ultra 2 and my AirPods Pro 2. Very excited about all that.
Yeah, those are definitely nice.
So the last up is the iPhone.
Oh yeah, forget about that
thing. Yeah, that got updated slightly. Some big updates there. I don't know. My biggest thing out of the gate is spatial video capture. I'm glad it's on the regular one, but we got a 48 megapixel sensor on the new 16 Pro. Yet spatial video capture remains the same quality. What's Apple doing over there?
Still 1080p?
Yeah, it's still 1080p, 30 frames per second spatial. What are they doing? It's a much better sensor that's doing the second capture. Surely they can improve that. I mean, surely they would look better too in low light. I have to imagine because the second sensor is so much better. But why are they capping that to 1080p? I don't know. It's weird.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can't do anything for you, but I'm sorry.
I mean, it's a great reason not to update because like they didn't improve that, so why bother?
Okay. Yes, that is the right energy. Okay. Yes, another
Right.
reason not to upgrade.
Exactly right. Yeah. Do you have any just opening thoughts on this new lineup, the 16 Pro here?
So yeah, I think. I mean, I can't imagine this will be controversial. This seems like the camera update. I can't think of a single iPhone update where it's literally just, do you want better cameras and camera features? Then this is the iPhone for you. We have nothing else to talk about except for a faster chip.
Yeah, faster chip, thermal. They mentioned.
Oh, they did mention thermals.
That thing heats the hell up on my phone. If I try to play a game, oh man, winter will be great if I need something to warm my hands up.
Yeah, for sure. That is, you're right. The thermal. I mean, it's not a reason to buy a phone, but the thermals on the iPhone 15 Pro it is absolutely the hottest iPhone I've ever used. And I am not someone who gets into like gates with new iPhones. Like, I don't do that.
Yeah.
A year of experience.
But it's a problem. I
can tell you it is a warm phone.
Yeah, at the end of a workday some days, well, if I'm playing games at work, whatever, like if I leave my car in a hot car after work, it's already hot, and then it just like, oh, it's too hot to use anything. It's got to cool down. So I throw it in my cooler at the end of my work days.
Yeah. I mean, on numerous occasions, on hot days as well, I have literally shut down my phone because I touched it and I was like, oh, I don't think that's okay.
Yeah.
And I had two phones over there. I had a 15 Pro, and then I realized I needed the 15 Pro Max. So like in mid-year, I upgraded. Yeah. Or I traded in or whatever. And it was on both of them. So I don't think it was just a fluke unit. It's just a hot phone.
Yeah, especially if you're doing the games that they're advertising you try with them. And I've been doing more of that, and I do less of it on the phone because like it heats up so much.
Mm-hmm. But
how's your battery health doing on your phone? Just out of curiosity,
it's going to be great.
Mine's at 87%.
87?
87. So that's where I'm at.
Whoa!
And I've been running the betas all summer. Is that good or bad?
I'm at 95.
Oh, okay. That's much better than mine. You replaced yours halfway year.
I got mine in November.
Okay, so that's still really good.
So yeah,
all that Alien Isolation, Resident Evil must.
Yeah, that's got to be it. Your phone is cursed with aliens and zombies.
Yes. So the capture button is real. It looks nifty. What do you think about this thing? Like, do you think it'll be more of a headache trying to navigate the UI, swiping and pressing than just tapping? That kind of, like, I don't know.
So, okay. This is again one of those situations where I am a little upset I haven't seen other people's opinions to see if I'm crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this thing, quite honestly.
I need to use it, but I don't like the look of it. Yeah. I'm not opposed to it being there and like for opening the camera app quickly and taking a picture on board.
Zooming could be cool.
But like you have an interface on the screen that seems more forgiving because you have like a longer range to move your thumb. And then it's not just zooming. It's like soft press to do one thing and then slide to switch to like a different thing. It's just like, it seems like the least convenient way to do all the things. And maybe this is just the impression I get from watching it, but like I was watching those demos and I wasn't thinking, oh, thank God I can finally do these things on my phone. And I was like, this looks like this looks like the way you would implement it on a real camera that had a physical button and could not do a touchscreen. And you're forcing it to work. Whereas if you have a touchscreen, you have all this space, you have all this ability to lay out UI that's been thoroughly considered and everything. And now you're going to do it all with your finger, like slowly, softly tapping. And what? I'm not convinced.
This would work with gloves. Is that accurate? So in your cold Chicago winters, you might be able to zoom and all that kind of stuff, right? Maybe
it might. I would say
thin gloves. Not. You would probably drop it trying to navigate it with thicker.
But it's so like when you have especially if you have a big glove on, like a mitten style glove with the big fingers and everything. You have there's no nuance to the way you move.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I'm not convinced. And I do feel a little bad. Like, usually I see the vision of it. I see, oh, this will make sense because this is how it makes it better. Like, maybe it's not worth a year-on-year upgrade for you, and that's fine, but you'll be happy once you have it. I don't get this one yet. I just don't get it yet.
Sorry, I was waving to my daughter who's outside the window looking at me.
Always acceptable.
Yes. Yeah, I'm curious how this will be in use. Like, how will zooming be a much better experience? That's one thing maybe that I could see better than tapping. But I don't know.
Though? Like,
is it because you can exactly frame it?
Yeah,
with a pinch?
exactly. You can use like the radial dial that comes up that nicely has haptics and everything that lets you know when you're at spots, and like you're moving your finger a farther distance, so it's easier to make like small motions. And yeah, like you said, you can just pinch to zoom like you're used to. So I don't know. I'm not immediately sold on it.
Yeah. I mean, it would free up my action button, which is currently set the camera, so that would be nice.
That's true. That's true.
Just taking a photo. That's something that, and I wish it would let you take real videos instead of the quick videos, because it's a different quality when you do quick video. I don't know if there's a way to do that with this button. It seems like maybe not.
Oh, is that still the case? I was hoping this year, because there are rumors of a new sensor. I was hoping this year the quick take would be like 4K instead of the 1080 30.
Because I hate that quick take. I get so disappointed whenever I take quick takes. It's like, just do a regular video, please.
It's good in a pinch, but yeah, if you have the choice, switch to video mode for sure.
Yeah. The colors look great on the 16. Like, that blue looks
Yes,
fire.
They found the saturation. They figured out.
Because the first year was like we found a way to infuse paint into the glass, but not very much paint.
Not very much. Yeah, I think they looked fine, but like I do like a phone that pops more, and so these look way more. Like, especially the blue and the pink one, look really bold, and I'm excited about those.
I'm ready for that product red version in March. That'll just be gangbusters. But I wouldn't never buy this phone, but it looks beautiful.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
and I like the stacked lenses too. That looks nice.
Yeah, I'm glad they went back to that. The diagonal lenses were kind of funky, so.
And you get spatial video on the 16. So
you do. Yeah. So that's nice.
There's a new Apple Intelligence thing with the capture button. Why don't I get this on the 15 Pro? I can open the camera. Is that not coming my phone? It seems not, because I don't have a button to the camera.
You gotta have something,
I guess. I'm not sure how much I would use that, but it seems nifty.
Yeah, it's basically Google Lens, right? As you take a photo of something and it does a Google search for you effectively. That's occasionally useful, so maybe there'll be use for this one. But it is good to see new kind of Apple Intelligence things continue to roll out. I know a lot of people were speculating that Apple had showed us everything they had for the next like 18 months at WWDC. But it was good to see, I guess, one more thing added, if you will, added for the new phones.
Another thing I loved in this iPhone event was, remember they used to have this app, because musicians love to jot down musical ideas.
Music
Notes. The Voice Memos app.
Yeah.
So they made this app. What was it called? Do you remember this app?
Music Notes.
Music Notes, yeah. So that was out for a couple of years. So they're like, oh, it's a lot of work to upkeep this app. So they ditched it. Then this year they added a feature just for those people where you can record basically, what do you call this? Dubbing, right?
I forget what they called it.
But you basically do an audio recording and then record over that again.
Yeah.
I don't know how many passes you can do, but the 8-track thing, of yourself singing in different ranges and all that. But that seemed nifty, and that seems to be coming to older phones, maybe, or no? Is that part of the new microphones and stuff?
I don't know. I feel like there's no reason that couldn't come to old phones, unless they say it's a performance issue. and
Right,
you need the
yeah.
A18 to do that. But yeah, and they also aligned this year. They got the chips back in alignment that makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
A18 and A18 Pro instead of A17 Pro and A16.
Yeah, they're funny.
Which was like,
oh, we leapfrog this year, going all the way. It's like, yeah, you didn't update the chip last year. You should do it. Yeah.
One thing I do like actually quite a bit this year is if you're on like the iPhone 16 Pro marketing page, when you get down to the spot to like the first place where they do a comparison of like it's this % quicker than this phone, it actually has a drop down where you can select which iPhone you're coming from, so you can see
nice.
the comparisons. So it's actually interesting. I was able to see. I went to the battery life one and I was like, well, compared to a 15 Pro Max, what's the battery life like? And it was like, well, with a 16 Pro, it's actually going to be 2 hours less. And I was like, I've never seen that on an Apple thing yet, where less battery life is officially displayed on the page.
They were bragging that this is the best battery life of any iPhone.
They did.
Is that wrong? That's in certain specs? It's less
on the Pro. So the Pro Max has more than last year's Pro Max, and this year's Pro has more than last year's Pro. But last year's Pro Max still has more than last year's or this year's normal Pro.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
So,
makes sense. Yeah.
Although I'm checking now, what's the compared to a 15 Pro Max, the 16 Pro Max has 4 more hours of battery on video playback. But yes.
Okay. I love that So any other thoughts on just the regular 16?
Yeah. I'm really combining them, aren't I? Glad I got the action button. And it feels
that came down, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it feels very much like last year's Pro at this point, which is good.
They can play the fancy games and all that. And USB-C, which we had last...
We did, yeah.
USB-C was on last year's regular phone too?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. It's just not USB 3 speeds, which is still the case, I think.
Okay.
I think that's right.
Correct. Yeah, USB 3 is on the Pros still only.
Okay.
But that hasn't really been an issue. I feel like that was the thing we talked about last year. Like,
who uses data transfer on the phone?
Yeah, almost nobody. And if you do, you probably are the sort of person who buys a Pro.
Right.
So it's really not an issue.
Yeah. And then let's see. This whole leading up to this event, people were going crazy about a brown iPhone. And I could see this a mile away. This is just gold, guys.
It is gold.
This is just gold. That's what I thought it would be the case.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the case. They're calling it desert titanium. So whoever was guessing that name, bravo.
Mm-hmm.
But
yep,
it just looks like a beautiful gold phone. I mean,
yeah. I wonder if it's because they didn't call it gold. And so if a leak got the name, they didn't think it was going to be gold.
And in certain lighting, it might look more brown or something, but I don't know. This seems to look like every other gold thing they've pictured before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking at...
Is it shiny? No. It's a little... I don't know. It seems like mine, but just, it can be shiny in certain light.
Yeah.
But it's not a stainless steel kind of... We're not going back to that.
Yeah, I think the finish is basically the same style as the 15 Pros.
You've never been a gold person, right?
Oh.
Or have you? I forget. Oh, boy.
I have a gold iPhone SE right here.
Oh, that is
original
a beauty.
one.
I've got one of those.
I love
Mine's
this one.
Scratched up a lot more, but
yeah, I used to be the gold iPhone guy. I had a gold iPhone 6S.
Okay. Yep.
I did not get it with the 7 and regretted it, so I went back with the 8. I'm one of the few people who bought an iPhone 8.
You got an 8? Wow.
Yeah. I didn't have the money for an iPhone 10 at the time, so iPhone 8 was what I could do.
Sure.
But yeah, I loved gold iPhones. I got the gold 10S a couple of years
that's something
next
you brought back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think, and then once the 12s came along, no gold. It was always,
okay.
I forget what colors I got, but.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad it's back because this when I get the 17 Slim if it's a 17 Slim I end up getting and it's no gold at that point, I might miss out on the whole gold thing here.
All
So
right.
we'll see.
The talking yourself into it has begun.
Yeah. But yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm just say this. This phone is not appealing at all to me. At all. Like it's got a capture button.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only thing is it's got a better sensor. Those, macros will look better. But the main sensors, I really, there's nothing compelling. I still have a year left to pay off this phone, so I have to pay it off. There's not enough here at all to be at all interesting.
Yeah. I did forget about the 48 megapixel ultra wide, which I am very happy about. Like an ultra wide needs resolution more than basically anything else because there's just so much stuff that you're capturing that the extra pixels it does make a difference. So I am happy about that. But
it captures spatial photos. It captures spatial photos, which I'm sure will look better than the Vision OS 2, version of them redoing it for you. But it's kind of funny. It's like every photo can now be a spatial photo. They look really great.
They look great. Yeah,
they do
for sure.
So I'll be curious to. I want someone to send me some photos of spatial photos captured on iPhone 16 Pro versus the same photo done with Apple Vision Pro doing it for you.
Yeah,
I'm curious what the quality difference is.
Maybe it's huge. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
the auto conversion is really, really good in Vision OS 2.
It's so good. Yeah.
There's 4K 120 frames per second video, and you can select it from the main video mode, which is nice. So you can just actually capture high refresh video if you need that, which is cool. And then you can play it back at different speeds. So that's nice.
Yeah.
And
spatial microphones.
Oh yeah,
this seemed interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I would. I'm sure there's some uses that would be good where there's a lot of background noise and not getting. But yeah, not a reason to upgrade.
Yeah, I will say when I first started doing YouTube videos, I just put my phone on a tripod because it's all I had. And I didn't have a microphone. I didn't have a dedicated camera, so I just put my phone up and recorded myself talking. And if the audio, there was I forget what it was called, but there was some mode in here where it would get rid of background noise and kind of make it sound like you're in a studio. And if that's good, that would have been great in my early days of doing YouTube where I didn't have high quality audio. So that would be actually quite a nice thing for young creators who are getting going.
Definitely.
Kind of similarly, the photographic styles this year.
They're not locked in.
They're not locked in. Oh, I'm so happy about this. I was very excited about these when they came out, and I ended up not using them long term because I did turn them on and I kind of liked how it would get some pictures looking punchy, but the problem was sometimes it would distort people in a way that made them look weird. I was out to dinner with my family for a birthday celebration thing months ago, and I had a photographic style on. I'd forgotten, and the hostess took the photo, and I got it back, and I was like, "Oh, we don't look good. We don't look natural." And it did the thing where the live photo where slowly animates before it locks in. Everything looked great, and then it locked in, and I was like, "Ugh." And that photo's just ruined now because it's locked into it. So very nice that you can undo it if you want. And I kind of like the new UI for finding it. There's a little square where you can make it warmer or cooler and more saturated, less saturated. So that's kind of cool. I would love it if they just brought that to all the phones, but definitely an improvement to the kind of baked in styling.
Yeah, I've always been too worried to apply them, so I've just left it off. I don't know if I want to trust myself here. I can always change that later.
When it works, it can be cool, but and I think they talked about this time, it will be more intelligent about applying your style and not being as aggressive with skin tones, which I think is good. Because it's never the rest of the world that it really bothers me about. It's really just pictures of people where I find them to be a little unreliable.
And then they're bigger phones, Matt. I have the big phone already. I don't know if I want it even bigger though.
I forgot I was coming on a podcast with a mini fan.
I mean I own a Max.
You do.
Clear, I went from the mini to the Max. So
you do.
I I do understand the utilitarian purpose of a big phone. I do like that, but it's already getting very hard to hold this thing.
Yeah. So
Now let me look at the size comparison here.
I was looking at that too. It's like a few millimeters taller, but almost the same width, and it's the same thickness as last year's.
Well, the width is the biggest problem.
Okay.
For me.
Yeah, it's 1 millimeter thicker. 1 millimeter wider.
The phone's
sorry.
wider. Okay.
Wider. Exact same thickness.
Okay. So it's not gotten thinner at all.
Not thinner.
Next year.
Slightly heavier too.
Oh.
A couple grams, not much, but
it's bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 4 millimeters tall. 3
I
millimeters
found
taller,
myself using the reachability thing a ton on the Macs lately. I'm actually getting good about like swiping down and getting stuff. I'm using them more and more. I've never liked it in the past, but I've finally given up and using it sometimes.
Yeah. No, I mean, I give you a slight hard time about the mini, but honestly, I like the normal Pro size. That's a good size phone for me. Yeah. But it comes down to the battery life. I just need more for the way I use my phone, and the 5x camera, which I think is the 5x in both of them this time.
It's in both now, yeah.
So that's good.
That's good. The battery's the only difference this time. Oh, you'll like this, Matt. They added wind noise reduction to tech specs here. That's excellent.
I hate the wind. The wind and its noise.
Yeah, there's a lot of wind out there. But yeah, as you said, this year is all about the cameras, and it's all about the cameras, but it's all about the ultra wide. And if you're mainly using the main sensor, I don't know how much benefit you'll get from this.
Yeah, I think. Did they say it is a new sensor? I feel like when the 14 to the 15, it was the same sensor with more software stuff. Or is it the same sensor a third year in a row?
Let me see.
There was a thing with like Google, the Google Pixel, from like the 3 to the 6 or something. It was the same sensor every year.
Calling it a fusion sensor now, but I think it's the same sensor.
Okay.
It's 1.78 aperture. Yeah, same. It seems to be the same sensor.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. But the chip lets them do 4K 120, which is that something you'd use with Sherman to get some dramatic videos of Sherman?
I mean, to be honest, yes, I would.
Okay.
To listeners, that's my dog.
Yes.
They also mentioned, this is actually a nice thing as well. They mentioned they're also able to do zero shutter lag captures of, was it ProRAW or was it just the 48 megapixel? Whatever.
I forget. But yeah, they did mention like instant, which is
good.
Good.
Because there is definitely a delay.
Oh, that's right. Because the ProRAW, that thing would lag so much.
Yeah, much more than you're used to with like an iPhone, which is just like tap it and you got it. It's saved. It's all done like right away. But yeah, those 48 megapixel ProRAWs have always taken a bit to save.
We did not get our nano texture glass option this year. I kind of want that on my phone.
Yeah, I wonder if that's going to come to the phone at some point. Now that it's on the iPad, like they can do it.
It's very nice on the iPad. Like even the glass just feels better the touch. It's it's got a different feeling to it.
Mm-hmm.
They showed off messages via satellite, which we've had this summer. I'm gonna say this feature is incredible. I've used it a couple times when I'm just in a bad cell reception area. Out when I travel out to Rye, New Hampshire. Sometimes it's like a beach town. There's no reception there, so I'll be at this restaurant and I can send a message via satellite. It's great. And it's such a fun UI. Like in the dynamic island, the satellite will be in there, and you kind of like move your phone to point it, and like it's just a little indicator in the Magic Island if you're still connected and stuff. And I think I sent you one just to see if it would work. Kind of.
Yeah,
thing.
I think you did. Yeah.
And it had some message about people may not be able to reply unless they're on 18 as well. So I'm excited for this to roll out widely. And it seems it's just included with your purchase. They haven't started to charge us, which is great.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, they said in the spec sheet there's somewhere in here about like emergency SOS available for 2 years for free with purchase of iPhone 16 Pro, which means it's been 2 years since the 14 Pro added it, and
they've already announced they're adding another year to those or whatever. So.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know if they're ever charging for that, but we'll see.
No, we'll see. I can see them charging for certain features, like the messages being more frivolous than like the Save My Life feature. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. Or maybe it'll be part
I
of
wonder.
Apple One.
Yeah, it could be like the old days where AT&T 200. You get 200 SMSs per
There you
month
go.
or whatever, right?
Yes, we're back.
Right, we're back to that.
We're back to paying for each SMS.
Yep.
Having your parents look at the phone bill and be like, "Did you have to send all these?"
Yeah. Anything else on the 16 Pro?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
The phone was the least exciting thing of the updates this year. Like the AirPods, like the hearing aid stuff was exciting. The watch, surprised me. Had some good stuff in there.
Yeah, and backporting features, like new features coming to the Ultra 2, new features coming to the AirPods Pro 2. Like those are great. And then for whatever reason, the iPhone is fine.
Yeah, they're working on next year's big update, which I hear is crazy. So as of today, what's your shopping cart look like?
Well, I am actually glad we got to talk it out in person because my initial plans were nothing. Then as we were talking about the AirPods 4, I was like, oh, maybe.
Yeah, because at the return window, you can go into the windy city and see if the wind is working or not.
Yeah. But then, I mean, I'm fine with my current AirPods, so I'll probably just stick with those. I think, all right, if I can be completely honest, the most likely thing would be a new iPhone 16 Pro.
Really? Okay.
And
the ultra wide or is that why the ultra wide sensor?
The ultra wide is part of it. The photographic styles is part of it. That's a minor thing, I guess. The stupid reasons, and we all want the stupid reasons, is
Gold.
my 15 Pro Max is blue.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite color. I'd rather get the natural titanium or the gold. I kind of want to see the gold.
The natural is very nice.
The natural titanium is excellent. That's what my normal Pro was. And
it looks good even with like, I got some dings in it. It looks even good through that,
so good. So I'm unhappy with the color. I want to fix the color situation. This is a stupid reason, but I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Also, I dropped this on my patio a few months ago.
Okay.
And there is a giant scratch down the middle that is not fixable by Apple Care. No,
because it's not enough.
Because I didn't smash it.
Are iPhones express replacement devices? I forget.
You
know the service express replacement with Apple Care?
I don't.
So basically, they'll replace they'll ship you a device like next day, and you'll ship yours back. And if you're like, they'll do this for like battery swaps even. Like, so like my grand theory is like, let me just use my device until the battery needs replaced, and then I just get a brand new device, and all my little tiny scratches will just be gone at that point.
Okay.
My iPad Pro is definitely, I would like a replacement, but they won't do it right now. So I'm waiting. This is a long-term device, the M4 iPad Pro. So I'm very excited for the day where Apple will just ship me a new device from a battery replacement, and I get all these other things fixed as a result.
Clever.
So, anyways, I'm not sure if the phone's qualified for that. What's your yours is still has a year left in it, paying it off, or what's that like for you?
Honestly, not sure.
Okay.
I think I've paid it off at this point, but I'd have to double check.
Yeah, because I do the whatever Apple Card 2-year thing with her iPhones. So some years I'll pay it off early, and So we'll
see. I mean, the fact that I haven't just set out right now already means it'll happen eventually. It's just a question of, do I wake up Friday morning to order it, or do I wait a few weeks?
Because with that damage, you think trade-in will be diminished at all, or?
Well, I'll probably do Apple trade-in, and Apple won't care.
Okay.
I should actually check what the trade-in is. They were saying like up to $1,000 for a trade-in, and I was like,
probably carrier deals is my guess. I can't imagine
it's
Apple
always
doing
carrier
that.
deals.
They're terrible. I got locked into one before.
Okay.
I don't know if Apple's doing anything fancy for that.
Yeah, I forgot that sometimes they have like weird carrier stuff. Okay. I'm pricing one out right now. So
it says for me from Apple up to $650 for trade-in.
Yeah, $650 for it.
Yeah.
So again, that's
And
not
the
that
watches,
much.
it's never worth the trade-in. It's never worth for the watches. It's
Oh,
like
it's terrible.
here's nothing.
Yeah. Oh, you bought a gold one made of actual gold. Yeah, it's gonna be
$200.
Yeah, at most.
Yeah.
Horrendous.
It's so disappointing. It's so disappointing with that stuff. So the
Ugh.
phones at least hold their value. And I'll probably. They said that basically the carry deal is like the same value from a 12 onwards. Is like okay, no extra value from a last year phone. Okay, and you're happy with Ultra 2. There's no Ultra 3 to tempt you this year.
Yeah, absolutely no chance of a new
Series
watch.
10 because you've the battery life is like double still. So
Yep. Yeah. So perfectly happy with the watch.
Yeah.
For real this time.
For real this time.
I think I said this last year, and then I got the Ultra 2. But actually this time, there is no new Ultra to buy.
No.
Except the black one.
Yeah, we get sleep apnea. I'm very excited to see if I have sleep apnea. I don't think I do. And then all the OSs release on September 16th, so next Monday, including Vision OS 2, which they've had some very brief mentions of Vision OS with like the spatial capture stuff.
But more than
I was
the
hoping
iPad,
we'd
so
have like
something.
a surprise something, but nothing. Because we were hearing like people getting demos of unannounced features in Vision OS 2. It's like I don't know, is there anything in that GM we'll see. And yeah, I imagine we'll get a Mac and iPad event next month, and maybe a Vision Pro software update 2.1 will be in there. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's the other thing. Like, would you be in the market for like iPad Mini and a Mac Mini?
No.
Those get no.
I think
little cute Mac Mini.
No, yeah. I've got an M2 Mac Mini just headless doing its thing in the background.
Okay.
I don't know if
it could be cuter and more adorable.
It would be cuter and more adorable. But I think this phone will be the last thing for the year. Apple's done me pretty good this year.
Yeah. Because you got the same as me. Vision Pro and iPad Pro, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I love that iPad Pro.
Yeah.
I do love it.
Vision Pro, it's still doing its job.
It's a good movie watching device.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
For me, at least for me.
Very sad. Very sad. I love that.
I know. Yeah. I know. Maybe I'll come around one day.
Yeah. One day, Vision OS 3, it'll be groundbreaking.
Hey, listen, I'm in. I'm in. Give me something great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Anyways, I think that's it for this episode. Any final thoughts? Any closing words?
No, just as always, it's great fun to do these with you, and thank you for being my shopping. I don't want to say guru, consultant. Yes, thank you, thank you. Yeah. You're walking me through it, helping me through, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely, and thank you for your time. And I always enjoy doing these kind of recaps and saying I won't buy things that I end up buying. So we'll see how that goes. I think so. This is what I'm saying today. I think just that Apple Watch band is all I'm in for so far.
Which honestly, not that bad in the grand scheme of things.
No, not that bad. Because I love the Ultra band seems so well thought out. So very excited for this one.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways, yeah. Well, thank you, Matt. Where can folks find your awesome work? And you also release a podcast on the same day that I do mine. This is,
Yeah, we're we're actually competitors now.
I know.
Yeah, I do a podcast now. It's called Comfort Zone. It's with Christopher Lawley, a fellow YouTuber, and Neilion, who works for Mac Stories. And we talk about things that we're enjoying at the moment. Sometimes things we're not enjoying at the moment, but trying to enjoy. Yeah. And then we challenge each other to do something that takes us out of our comfort zone every week. And we do polls on Mastodon. It's great. It's great fun. Check that out. Any podcast player. It's on YouTube as well. And the best place for me is probably YouTube right now. I'm doing a new season on a better computer. And we've done a Vision Pro review, a Superhuman review. I talked about Visible Phone Service, Synology, like all sorts of stuff. Got a lot of fun stuff. So hopefully you enjoy it.
No, I'm glad you got the Synology. I love mine. Their apps are delightful. Like they have a
I've seen the
music player. Their music player app is great. If you haven't dived into that.
Oh, I haven't. No. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a good alternative to like I need to upload something to iTunes Match. You can just throw it in there and then get a nice little UI for music.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Yeah. Synology
So,
Photos
yeah.
is great. I've got all my photos as JPEGs now as a backup, and I'm just very happy and very comfortable.
Yeah, I started when I first got the Synology doing the monthly uploads. I went back in time and did all that, and I've kind of drifted off. I need to find the automatic approach that you've settled upon.
Yep. I just turned it on my iPad, and my iPad's just doing it in the background. Nothing to do.
Yeah,
It's great.
I should set that up. Well, anyways, thank you so much for your time, and check out all of what you're up to. And Comfort Zone is a lot of fun. I love when you guys gang up on Chris. That's the most fun, for sure.
And when Neilion wins every challenge.
Well, it helps if you do the challenge.
I know. I did. Just wait until the next episode. I did much better following the rules.
Well, until next time, we'll probably speak in October for some Mac or iPad event.
That'll be fun.
That'll be fun. I don't know how to wrap up live shows, so we're just going to end the live stream here. Thanks for listening or watching.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.